Hey, what is up guys, I'm Bill, and today I'm going to be bringing you another video, but it's going to be kind of different. It's going to be another trade video, but it's not going to be a trade rumor. It's going to be a blockbuster trade that just went down that sent Blake Griffin to the Detroit Pistons. This just happened. We had no warning about it until it happened. We knew they were talking to the Pistons, but that was only an hour before the trade, so I mean it was crazy, everything was going down. But something that I've seen that I don't agree with, everybody's saying this is a lopsided trade to go to the Pistons. I don't think it's lopsided at all, actually, and I'm going to get into all that. I'm going to get into the trade package, why it makes sense for both teams, and who actually won the trade. So without further ado, without me rambling on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so the trade package was that the Pistons would be able to get Blake Griffin, Bryce Johnson, and Willie Reed. As the Los Angeles Clippers, though, they got Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, Bogdanovich, I'm not even going to try to say his last name, a top 4 protected first-round pick, a second-round pick, but if that pick does stay top 4 protected all the way up until 2021, it is no longer protected and it's just the Clippers pick. I highly doubt that happens though, and like I said, they get the 2019 second round pick. So they got 2 draft picks, one's a first round, one's a second round, a good guard in Avery Bradley, a player that's been playing really good, Tobias Harris. In exchange, they had to give up all-star, superstar Blake Griffin, top 5 power forward in the league. You probably can't put that many people in front of him. Put Anthony Davis, maybe LaMarcus Aldridge, and probably Draymond Green, but you can't put that many people ahead of him at all. And then Bryce Johnson and really just kind of probably to even out the salary probably. But now let's get into why it makes sense for the teams. The first thing I'm going to get into is the Los Angeles Clippers and why it makes sense for the Clippers. Well, this will still keep the Clippers competitive, believe it or not, because like now they will have a shooting guard duo in Avery Bradley and Lou Williams. I do think they're going to look to get rid of Lou Williams, but as of right now, making this video, they will still have the combo of Lou Williams and Avery Bradley at shooting guard, which is a really good one-two punch. But also, like I said, since they are looking to trade Lou Williams, guess what? Now that gives them more depth. Now they don't have to worry about what are they going to do at shooting guard if they trade Lou Williams. No, now they have Avery Bradley to start at shooting guard. So if they trade Lou Williams, it's not like they're going to be missing a shooting guard. No, they're going to have a very young one, and they're probably going to be able to get some other young players for Lou Williams, and that would be extremely good. And also, they'll be getting Tobias Harris, who's been a great young player this year. And yes, of course, he's not as good as Blake Griffin, but the dude has still been playing as a top 18 power forward this year. The dude is averaging 18.1 points per game, 2.0 assists per game, and 5.1 rebounds per game. He's been playing a ton, and also Boban, he's not that important, but I mean, he'll still be a solid replacement if they do decide to trade DeAndre Jordan, another good backup in case they want to make this trade. They have a really good insurance plan in case they trade Lou Williams and DeAndre Jordan. And also, like, they are still rebuilding. Just think about that. They are rebuilding, and they just got all of that young talent. They are rebuilding on the fly. They have made 30 times more progress than the Orlando Magic has made over a 15-year period of rebuilding. I mean, they are doing an extremely good job at rebuilding, and also they got a first-round pick and a second-round pick, which is obviously huge for rebuilding. You need picks, you need young players. That's what they got in this trade. Besides Bogdanovich, they got nothing but young players. And also, to rebuild, you don't want big contracts. Guess what Blake Griffin had? A 5-year, $300 million something contract. It was ginormous. They just got rid of that. And I mean, also they do trade Johnson and Williams, and that will be able to still have a team set for the future, and they will still be competitive. Like, this team still might make the playoffs. I mean, they really might make the playoffs. And if they do trade DeAndre Jordan and Lou Williams, well, guess what? There you get even more young players, and the rebuilding thing is almost over. If that draft pick turns into anything, that rebuilding stage is pretty much over. They are now a playoff team, and depending what that first round pick might end up being, there's no telling how good this team could be. Tobias Harris, I think, will be an all-star one day. Avery Bradley should be an all-star. He's a borderline all-star. I mean, they got so much younger. Debatably, they got better. I mean, it's really good. It's really interesting to see how this would work out. But also, now let's get why to make sense for the Pistons. So the Pistons, although they did get rid of tons of players, and they were able to get the second best front court in the league behind the Pelicans. Like, they are definitely the second best front court. Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin, that's almost unstoppable. The only front court that can handle that is probably New Orleans Pelicans that have DeMarcus Cousins and AD. Obviously, post DeMarcus Cousins injury, they can handle that. And right now, they probably have the best since DeMarcus Cousins is out. But when every team is healthy, the Pelicans are the first. Then it goes to the Detroit Pistons, in my opinion. And I mean, as of right now, that duo is going to be almost unstoppable. And with Reggie Jackson coming back off of his ankle injury, well, that will help a lot with passing and all that. But also, the reason I don't know about this trade for the Pistons, they kind of become the New Orleans Pelicans with not as good of a front court. Like, that's not a good thing. The Pelicans were a 5th seed when they were healthy, but now DeMarcus Cousins out, so I don't know what's really going to happen to them. But I mean, with a front court that is better than what the Pistons have, debatably they have better guards, and Rondo's a better passer than Reggie Jackson. I mean, you don't know how this is going to work out, but regardless, they did get better from this trade. Plus, Detroit will be getting Bryce Johnson, so he's not very good. They'll add depth to a power forward position for the loss of Tobias Harris, and they're also getting a good backup in Willie Reed for Boban. As Boban is leaving, their backup, now they get Willie Reed, who started for the Clippers, to back up Andre Drummond, which is a big upgrade from what they had. So they are really putting all their best eggs in one basket in this trade. But now, let's get into who won this trade. This might shock you, but I think the Los Angeles Clippers did win this trade because just look, as a rebuilding team, they were able to get a first-round pick and a second-round pick. Plus, they got way younger, lost a ginormous contract. They are still competitive, still might make the playoffs, and now they can trade Jordan and Lou Williams for even younger players and pretty much complete the rebuilding process. And I mean, that is just a great thing to think about. And also, Tobias Harris, like I said, I do think he will be an all-star one day, who has been playing out of his mind this year. And Bradley is pretty much a borderline all-star. He should have been an all-star last year. He should have been all-star this year, I think, in my opinion. But defense does not make you get into the all-stars. That is the reason he does not get in. This dude is an excellent defensive player. But guess what? He's never going to probably get into it, only because he's just so good on defense, but not the best offensive player. He's good on offense, but he's not a 30-point scorer game. And also, the reason I don't think this makes much sense for the Pistons, yes, they got better, and yes, if no injuries happen, they win this trade. But Blake Griffin, for the past 3 years and this year, has been getting injured like crazy. He's injury prone, and those injuries are big injuries. And when he goes down, this Detroit Pistons is absolutely screwed. They have no backup plan if this does not work out. Because look, they got rid of 2 picks. One's a first round, one's a second round. They got rid of their best shooting guard, Avery Bradley. Didn't get much back. And if Blake Griffin goes down, well, now guess what? They have Bryce Johnson in there to back him up. And then you're back to Andre Drummond and Reggie Jackson show. You don't even have Avery Bradley or Tobias Harris to back you up. And then you have no hope in the draft because you got rid of your draft pick, and you can't even hope a second round pick somehow works because you got rid of that. They have no insurance plan. If this falls through, and Blake Griffin is likely for an injury that can end his season this year, if this falls through, this is the worst trade the Pistons could have done, only because they got rid of their entire future. They're in win-now mode, and even with this trade, they can't compete with the Celtics, the Cavs, the Warriors, or the Rockets for the finals. So even though they're in win now, they will be a second round team at best and then get eliminated. So just think about that. You became a team slightly worse than the Pelicans when healthy, and you're a second round team at best who can't compete with any of the best teams. This trade was not worth it for the Detroit Pistons, I don't think. They gave up way too much, and yeah, y'all might disagree with me only because they got Blake Griffin. And a lot of people are going to disagree with me only because they got Blake Griffin, how good he is. And people usually think, oh, you got a star player, you won. No. So yeah, that's unfortunately going to be it for this video. So comment below, do you think the Los Angeles Clippers won this trade? Do you think they lost? Who do you think won the trade? Do you think this is a good trade package? Tell me all that below. And anyway, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you really like the video and want to help me out, hit the subscribe button. I mean, the road to me, we're at 137 subscribers. Thank you all so much. And also, kids, if they virtue either, never do. Festivals always be drug. Stay safe, stay well, goodbye.